are supposed to take out of that over here and teach. And based on that, do I know what the people below teach up to at least? You know, hopefully they slop over into mine if they've got some bright kids. And do they know what I begin, where I'm thinking to begin from and where I'm thinking to go up to? Is everybody aware of what everybody's bit of the pie is? Or are we all just like, you know, I'll do a bit of addition? Well, what bit of addition is your team's bit of addition? So that it's absolutely, you know, ridiculous to stick people in a room with some resources, not if you have what the resources are, if they don't know what's the whole school plan. How many hours a week do we do maths? What's our big focus at this school? You know, which one of those dimensions are we doing? Which bit of the pie am I, or the continuum, am I supposed to actually be doing? Have I got all those documents? What are the important things that I need to be sure are on my curriculum document? How many hours of each thing am I, you know, expected to do? This stuff has to be in place before these people can really do the right job, do the right thing by their kids. But I mean, it's not rocket science, but I don't think we do this in a lot of times. What happens is this: we start there, a term plan. People get shoved in a room with 1 hour and a box of resources and told, work out what you're going to do for term 2 maths, without a big picture going on.
Even we've developed that too.
Transferred in from some other school where we have a set idea about what the 5 6 teachers teach. I may not even look at the vowels. I might just, you know, be doing what I've been doing for the last 10 years. So all of that stuff needs to be cleaned up neatly before people go. And I know you're not going to be able to do that before the fourth term and everybody gets their 1 hour, but it's worth keeping in your mind about that. This is the other thing as well. The planning format. Is there, and we're talking right down at the document level now, is there a planning format that everyone in the school uses and that we all could have a look at each other's and understand what's going on here? Do we have like a standard template? Do we all have our plans in hard copy? Is that what we do at our school, or do we have them electronically? Are they up on some shared thing so that everybody can see everybody else's stuff? Do we have some planners that I'll show you later have got hyperlinks in them, in each team's term planner, hyperlinks to certain places? Do you use that at your school? Would it even be useful? If you know, you don't want to stick all that stuff in if nobody in your school ever pushes the hyperlink button, if nobody can find their computer even, you know, when the time comes. It's all very nice to have gorgeous documents, but if nobody's using them, don't use them. Get rid of it. Get something that, you know, if you're on a horse and it dies, get off. Find something that everyone can use. Have a talk about it. Will we put them on shared docs? Have we even got a bit of an assessment plan happening across the school? Do the 5 6s test kids like every month, and the preps test once a year? What's going on? Do we know what's going on assessment-wise across the whole school? And do we have an agreed way that we will show that we're covering skills and thinking and reasoning? Is that going to be because everyone's doing a project once a term, or is it because they're going to highlight in yellow or something on their term planner where they're doing a thinking and reasoning thing, or are they going to have thinking and reasoning like every Friday? Is it going to happen once a month or something? We're going to have a big thinking and reasoning day. What's going on? Have we got a plan at the school, or is everybody just left to come up with their own thing? Because if they're all left to come up with their own thing again on these, we get back to sitting around in the staff room saying, oh yeah, we do that, and perhaps nobody's doing any of that, or perhaps some people are doing that, and some people are doing that, and some people are doing that, and again, we don't have a whole school situation happening. So it came as like a big knock in the head for me that I realised this becomes critical before teachers go off and start doing the planning in teams. We need to, as a school, have worked out what's the document going to look like, what are the chunks that everybody establish what the particular chunks are for each team, and what the guiding principles are for us overall. Now, I wonder, can you put your hand up if in the last 2 years, you've taught at VELS level 1? Okay, VELS level 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's a smattering around the room of people who have taught everything across those areas. Did you bring your, no, you don't need these yet, we're going to do that later. Okay, I want you, as a table group, or I don't care if you're in 3s or 4s, but make sure nobody bludges in the group. Being the size of a group, that means everybody's doing something. Without looking at any documentation, see how good you are at this. We're just looking at number, just the dimension of number. This is a great activity to do with the staff at your school to see what people know and don't know. If I said to you, at level 1, can you pick out the five key things in number that level 1 teachers are responsible for teaching, and write them down here, 5 as a group, work out what they are. In level 2, can you pull out the 5 key things that you reckon level 2 teachers are responsible for teaching in number? Same with level 3 and level 4. Don't worry about level 5. But it was the 5 top of the pops in number for each of those levels. Can you work them out? Write them down and see if you can work out where one bit of the pie ends and the next bit of the pie begins. I'm going to give you 10 minutes to see as teams there, 3s, 4s, 5s, however big the group. Just don't let anybody bludge on the rest of the group. Who managed to get through the whole 4 levels? This table, and little bits of other tables. What do you reckon that probably tells us? Come on, be brave.
We know our own area really well.
Sorry?
We know our own area really well.
Yeah.
And we're a bit grey as to what comes before us if we haven't been there.
Yeah, okay.
Sometimes you may know it, but it's often hard to verbalise what it is that you want to say.
Yeah.
And where it fits in.
Okay. And I wonder if you're a level 4 teacher and you had been sitting with the whole of your level 4 team doing that activity, if you all would have even agreed on what goes in the list. What does that tell us? You need a common understanding. Like, you know, how can you be expected to be working as a whole school on a whole school plan kind of journey if everyone has a different idea about what it is that they're even supposed to be teaching?
But can I just say, I teach level 2,
Yeah?
but I know what's in level 1, and I know what's in level 3.
Yeah.
Basically, abilities in my class.
Yes, you'd hope. Yeah.
So I don't have to be particular.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. You actually need to know not just your own level, but both sides. And the ideal would be, you know, to know all of the whole 4 if you're at primary school. But what this activity does is highlight for you, and that's why I say take it back and do it with your staff or do it with a team, highlights for you that while we've got all these big documents and we've got the deceased website and, you know, lots of stuff out there, we still perhaps don't even have a common understanding about what it is that are the key things we need to be teaching at each level. And so then you take that across to the picture of planning day. 4 people are pushed into a room with an hour and some Nelson maths books or something or other and told to come up with a whole term's maths. You know, what quality are you going to get out of that if the people are not all on the same page and the school doesn't even know perhaps, you know, what the big plan is? So I was going to say that exercise in futility, but it wasn't because you all came up with something. But that's an exercise that's worth taking back and doing either in your team or with your school, and bring out the fact that maybe as a school we don't really have a clear understanding of what it is and what each chunk along that journey is for each of the different VELS levels.